guys, Ralph here. True Power Trumpet Fitness, and welcome to an amazing Wednesday here in Connecticut. This is running a little late, 3 o'clock. I was going to try to get first thing in the morning to offset the late one yesterday, but who cares? You get it. Anyway, yeah, you saw the thumbnail. Let's talk a little bit about the great Herbert L. Clarke and how it pertains to CHOPS. And that amazing statement he made almost 100 years ago now. And it's safe to assume he would know. So anyway, that's that. I have played a little bit today. So these are not the first notes, but let's get to it. So, there you go. Just got out of the shower. Sorry, I mowed the lawn. Anyway, double C's, wide open, and a little delicate little ditty from Arbin, variation number 5. So, Herbert L. Clarke. I already did a video specifically on him, so I don't want to get back into it. I mean, one of the true greats. Cornet soloist, the Sousa band, and onward. Vacchiano himself, interesting enough, the book, has you play just about everything as soft as you possibly can. Vacchiano said, and I quote, "He was the loudest son of a bitch I ever heard in my life." So, he said these were an effort, soft and as many as you can, is an effort to build chops. But the fact of the matter is, if you take a closer look at it, I'm not sure if that is really what was going on. Now, back in the day, they would play, a full parade, then go to the local band shell and play a concert, and he would come out and play lead on everything, and then come out and play Carnival of Venice or Bride of the Waves or whatever the case may be. No microphone outside. Thus, Vacchiano's quote. Okay? So when he was practicing, that was all in an effort to offset what he was doing during the day. I don't believe soft playing, just for the sake of playing soft playing, builds chops. You can build chops playing softly if everything is right. But you notice that book doesn't necessarily, at all, go into the chops. Tighten the chops a little bit as you go higher and loosen them as you go lower. That's about as much as you got into chops. Okay? Now, great thing for dexterity. If you want, the Del Stagers type career, and you do that, for a local band or something like that, knock yourself out. Those things are good. But as for, again, we're talking about building chops, and the soft playing over and over and over, not so much. Okay, with that said, what I do love about that quote, he said endurance is 90% of trumpet playing. I'm going to interpret a little bit. I'm sure he doesn't mean endurance at the expense of tone and power. Okay, if you look at his book, he does not say that at all. So I'm going to say tone, power, range, and endurance are 90% of trumpet playing, or chops are 90% of trumpet playing. Now, if the Arbin book is the Bible of trumpet playing, which Vacchiano, Mel Broyles called it numerous times, Bacchiano said, if you can play the Arbin book, you can play anything. And I say, if you can play the Arbin book and play it up an octave, you can be a superstar. Okay? And I truly believe that. Now let me ask you this. Is there anything in the Arbin book that you can't learn from a flute player? They have multiple tone. How about a clarinet player? The notes, the music. How about a piano player? The piano player can teach you every single note in there. Okay? They can't teach you the multiple tonguing. I'll get you that. Everything else, all the music, they can teach you. And that is what Clarke was talking about. Now, if 90% of trumpet playing or brass playing, he said, is chops, which I agree with him completely, and you're paying 50, 60 grand at a university a year with a teacher that does not have great chops and can't teach great chops, that's 90% of your profession you're not getting. Think about that. 90% of your profession you are not getting from that teacher, according to Herbert L. Clarke. Now, if you spend 4 years with a teacher and you want a double C, and after 4 years you don't have a double C, guys, you spend 4 years with me every single week for half an hour, sometimes an hour, you're going to have a double C. Nobody else can make that claim. So, I've said this before. I did a tongue-in-cheek video a while back. I can save you $250,000. All you guys in high school looking to make a career as a trumpet player, come to me every week for $40. Get your double C's before you even go to college, and then let them teach you the music. You got it. Or you college guys, take a lesson with me every week. On top of it, $40. Get what you can from the professor. Many of them have never played a Broadway show. I've never played in a big-time symphony orchestra. Get what you can from them. You got the chops, and you're ready to go. Wherever you may be, if you've got a double C and you can play the Arbin book, and you want to be a trumpet player, get yourself to Hollywood or New York and go for it. It's as simple as that. Okay? A double C will separate you from the pack if it's a legitimate one and you have everything else you need. Now, as you know, I have never said a double C will do for you. I said in the last video, I have ranked beginners that have never played a note before in their life can play double Cs. That doesn't mean they're ready to go to New York. If you have the Arbin book, if you have Clarke, if you can transpose a little bit, you do a little bit of jazz if that's the type of thing, and you have a double C, and you want to make your way, go give it a shot. There's no work left. I wouldn't suggest that out to anybody, but go give it a shot. 90%. That's what Herbert L. Clarke says, not me. I agree with him. I agree with him. And I'll tell you what, just doing what he says in that book, and that's it, and not knowing anything about chops or anything like that, is not going to do it for you. I will say this, though. If you do what I tell you about chops, the tongue, the air, relaxed corners and everything, and you apply it to that book, bingo. Bingo. You notice he says once you get it down slurring, add double tonguing and trivet. If you can, it's like the Arbin. I like the Arbin, there's more music involved. Okay? But if you can play that Clarke book beginning to end, up to a double C, with the tonguing, purity of tone, center of tone, control, and you want to be a trumpet player, give it a shot. Give it a shot. And again, I wouldn't wish that life on anybody. It's a miserable life. There's no work. Unless you get a job in a symphony orchestra, you're very, very hard-pressed to make a decent living. And even then, unless it's the top 5 symphony, you're not making big bucks, for sure. Many of the regional orchestras are per service basis. You're lucky to make 10 grand. Anyway, don't mean to be gloom and doom, but that's the case. Anyway, so that's that. 90% of trumpet playing is relaxing the corners, thick tongue, pressed on the bottom lip. Life's good. Okay, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Drink your fruits. Oh, by the way, guys, a lot of the guys on this channel are enjoying the health and fitness channel. Guys, and you may be not trying to lose weight or whatever the case may be, but the two do go hand in hand. They absolutely go hand in hand. I give PNF to almost all my athletes. I give kettlebell to almost all my athletes. Throwing a baseball 100 miles an hour is all about compression. It's not about brute strength and having big muscles. That's all. You want to run faster, jump higher, you have a son or a daughter that wants to do that, check out the other channel. It's really starting to move. It really is. I'm getting lots of requests. I'm getting lots of emails. It's really starting to move. And it is very, very closely related to what we're doing here. So if you like these, you just might get a kick out of the other one. Anyway, that's that. So, again, I'll see you tomorrow with something else. And we got to talk about getting dizzy. You shouldn't. We'll talk about that tomorrow. All right, guys. Love you all. Live your life with true power. Drink your fruits and vegetables.